Newport Technologies is my public speaking entity, and if you look at the logo, you see a seagull. Above the seagull is blue sky, below the seagull is green grass. When you're a mariner and you're entering a new world, a new harbor, you are entering actually a new port. And in my professional career promoting mobile technology to Asia, that's basically what I am, a mariner, pioneering, bringing new technology into Asia, cutting edge new technology to design in, to scale, to promote, to standardize. My career started with the rise of the Pacific Century. The emerging Pacific Century prompted me to study Mandarin Chinese. I studied from 1982 until 1985 under scholarship. The scholarship came from the Taiwanese Ministry of Education, and it was at National Taiwan Normal University's Mandarin Training Center in Taipei, Taiwan. I started to plan for my economic future, my scholarship economic future. I envisioned the rise of the mainland Chinese market. I also foresaw the Chinese diaspora in Greater China and Asia. Overseas Chinese money drives most of Asia these days, but the future is actually an Asian or a Pacific century. I learned that success requires more than just hard work. It involves creativity, innovation, and reinvention. I developed an effective go-to-market strategy. These strategies have helped me to propel several mobile technologies forward, and they have become very important as I promote the wireless, smart card, and semiconductor sectors into standardization in the market. My approach is rooted in understanding consumers and aligning products with their needs in Greater China and Asia. I live in Washington State, but my workplace remains Asia and the globe. Harnessing the power of Western and Asian social media with video content helps influence design of software and hardware into mobile devices. This has been a strategic tool that I've utilized for 20 years to help my go-to-market strategies. It requires a rainmaker who can effectively explain technology in multiple languages and in simple terms with the ecosystem, in this case Mandarin, Chinese, and English for me. This explanation helps to lay the groundwork for acceptance and adoption by key decision makers. Mobile technologies being pitched are emerging, cutting edge, and important to help scale and standardize. Through this process, I have designed mobile technologies into the smartphone ecosystem. I have embedded at least, or have been responsible for helping embed at least 4 to 5 of these technologies into smartphones and IoT, Internet of Things devices. I have done this successfully since 2008. I was invited to explain this concept to 2 American universities, the University of Washington in Seattle and also Seattle University. I've often been called the Asian mobile industry rainmaker. But the term rainmaker can apply to a mobile technology worker who always books the most sales, but it can also refer to a marketing guru who can constantly find innovative ways to represent the company's products. Additionally, it can mean a strategist who can fuse stakeholders' interests to scale mobile technologies and essentially any technology. Now, in the purest sense, a rainmaker is a difference maker. This is someone capable of turning the tide when things get rough. They can bring in new money or accounts to the business that others simply couldn't. Finally, a rainmaker takes hold of an ecosystem and helps to scale it, connecting points A to B to C. They connect with all the ecosystem players, and this is done through the process of building bridges and encouraging collaboration for product or service adoption. Karl Weaver is a mobile industry rainmaker for Asia Pacific mobile markets. This is Karl Weaver. Please allow me to explain my past 20-year career in the mobile smart card and semiconductor sectors of the wireless industry. I worked for Freescale Semiconductor from 2004 until 2005 in Tempe, Arizona. They had just spun out from Motorola Semiconductor when I was hired, and they had actually taken over a real fab and design center in Arizona, in the heart of the Phoenix area. I was initially hired to help build an Asian market presence for a wireless audio chip, and later on, I worked on Zigbee protocol chips to help standardize them in Asia. In 2008, I was hired as the global leader in smart card production for Gemalto. I worked in their Beijing office. There, I promoted their SWP NFC SIM card for design into smartphone OEMs. These cards allow for secure near-field communications, mobile payments via the USIM card on smartphones via the SIM card. After completing that mission, in 2009, Gemalto acquired Trusted Logic, an embedded mobile security software OS firm. They embedded the TEE, the Trusted Execution execution environment operating system into ARM Trust Zone hardware-based security architecture for smartphones. This system protects data and code on Android devices for Asian smartphones. It also secures mobile wallet payment details. Trusted Logic actually spun out into Trustonic in 2012. I worked as the Gemalto employee from 2008 until 2013 in Beijing, China, managing the APAC region before returning to the United States. So I spent 5 years in China. I served as the NFC and the TEE country manager from 2008 until 2013. During that time, I worked for those two companies. I initially promoted eSIM, that's EUICC, to Asia and Apple in 2016 with a company called Oasis Smart SIM. And then I worked for Simility Labs a year later, which developed the EUICC operating system as well. ARM acquired Simility Labs. I pitched both eSIM and iSIM as an ARM employee from 2017 until 2018. After 2018, ARM spun them out into Keegan. From 2018 until 2020, I worked for Rivets Corp. This is an ICO which featured a unique dual roots of trust mobile security wallet application. It was based on the USIM and the TEE in ARM Trust Zone. In January 2020, I began working remotely during the COVID-19 pandemic for a Shanghai startup design house called ITOS.io. I promoted the thing called the BOAT, the blockchain of AI things. It's an SDK middleware framework embedded into cellular IoT modules. This framework enables blockchain compatibility for the cellular IoT module. In 2021, with massive funding from the Wansheng Group, Shanghai Wansheng Blockchain Group, they shifted gears to an ESG theme. I was appointed head of community growth in Singapore. My role was to help build Akron, a green energy data infrastructure network. It features a smart data logging dongle attached to the inverter of a solar PV panel. This dongle collects and converts green energy into green data. The data supports the on-chain creation of tokenized carbon RECs for climate actors and activists.